All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the combat at Osma. This is the preliminary video before the battle kicks off here in a little bit. This is scenario number 1 of 6 in David Brown's General des Armées Vitoria 1813 campaign book for the Peninsular War. And I think it was originally written for General des Armées 1. Probably easily adaptable on your own to General des Armées 2. I'm kind of cheating because Scott Driscoll's like the inside man, and he's sent me the notes from the author of the changes that need to be made to convert this scenario over to the new rule set. I've pretty much copied of what you're supposed to help set the game up. I put a little bit of my own flair to it because why not? Playing on probably a bigger table than recommended. But that's never a bad thing in my opinion. But the forces are basically what the book dictates. Some of the British units have... I don't have enough King's German Legion units. So some of the British units are actually what they, are true to what their flags are depicting. And I don't have any Portuguese, like I mentioned in a previous video. So I'm going to be using Austrians, who I've been painting like a mad person. So there are 3 Austrian battalions down at the end. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. The 2 Bavarian line battalions are going to be Portuguese line units. And then the militia, just because they look a little different, are going to be the, I believe it's the Caçadores. I probably pronounced that wrong. I apologize to all the Portuguese people in the world. And that's going to happen a lot. That's going to be the one thing that's going to be consistent with this channel is I'm going to pronounce things incorrectly from different languages and probably from the English language. So I'm a universal screwer-upper. Okay, so I'm going to read some background out of the book. Please forgive me. Not only can I not pronounce things right, but I can also screw up while reading out of a book. So I'm going to find a good perch to place the camera on and give you a view of the battlefield. And then we'll do a little bit of reading. Just in case you don't own this particular book, it's a pretty good read. It does a lot of background early on. I got some good maps just to kind of lay the groundwork for how Wellington and the British forces and Portuguese and Spanish got to Vitoria to fight the forces of Joseph Bonaparte. All right, this is directly from David Brown's scenario book. The combat at Osma arose as a result of Wellington's great turning movement, which involved Graham's column marching to the north of the French position at Vitoria. Graham commanded an independent column composed of 1st Division, 5th Division, George Anson's Light Brigade, and Thomas Bradford's Portuguese Brigade, plus a Spanish force. Wellington's orders directed that his column coverage... Is it converge? His columns converged towards Vitoria. It's a typo in the book. Towards Vitoria, and hence Graham's column was now leading the march on the Medine to Osma road towards Vitoria. Wellington was anxious that his march was to be conducted as speedily as possible in order to deny the French any significant time to react. New orders followed on the 17th of June, directing Graham to move via Osma and on towards Orduña. And it was only on this day that the French received an indication of Wellington's movements. Indeed, the rough and sparsely populated route taken by Wellington's forces probably assisted with keeping his advance relatively secret from French spies and scouts. Discussions at French High Command incorrectly concluded that Wellington must be advancing his main army by the more natural road via Valmaseda and Bilbao, and as such directed Rile's command, division of Sarut, oh my gosh, I won't even pronounce that, there's 3 Frenchmen there, to march in that direction to cover the Bilbao approach. This would also mean that Ryle could concentrate his force with the northernly French garrison from the Army of the North, bringing the French numbers up to about 25,000 in the region. As Rile's divisions marched northward, they soon encountered British columns marching towards them. Macoun's division entered the light division encountered the Light Division at San Milan, where a series of seesaw running battles through the villages and mountain roads saw Makun's command break up and be forced back to regroup on Ghazna's divisions near Miranda. Ryle's remaining force were marching on Osma, where they also encountered British troops blocking their march. Initial dispositions indicated that Ryle had sufficient strength to push through and as such deployed his command into fighting formation at Osma. Graham sent forwards the Light Division while he formed up the remainder of his forces to oppose Ryle. As more British and Allied troops began to come into sight, Ryle decided that he would withdraw, and a lively series of firefights developed as Ryle skillfully withdrew his command. Ryle soon linked up with Makun, is it Makun? Mashun? Whatever. Maucune troops and began a retreat to the safety behind the Bayas River, and then informed French command of the situation. The French generals now held a further council of war, debating whether to hold the line of Vitoria or withdraw to avoid Wellington's flanking maneuver. Joseph refused to consider a withdrawal and demanded that the great chase to France be held open, and of course this decision also protected his great convoy full of trappings of state and his numerous Francesco supporters, which he would be quite literally be without. He would quite literally be not the wouldn't be the King of Spain anymore, just in name only. All right, so that's enough reading. I thank you for hanging in there. I just wanted to, if you didn't know the book, I wanted to provide you that background. All right, the mission to win the game. The following victory conditions apply. The British must demoralize 2 French brigades, or inflict a Swakepu or retire command roll result on 2 French brigades by the end of the game. The French must avoid the British achieving their victory conditions. The game ends after 10 turns. A French Swakepu or retire command extends the game by a further 2 turns. Deployment, you can see over there, British may deploy anywhere along their table up to 9 inches in, which I think I'm pretty close. I'm not going to break out the tape measure. But of course, this is probably played on a 4x6 table, and I'm playing it on a 15x7, so maybe I can get away with a couple extra inches. The French must deploy both brigades across the table up to their halfway point. So I've got both their brigades up on there. At least 2 close order units from each brigade must deploy exactly at the halfway point, which we've got. The remainder of the brigade units must deploy as the player sees fit. All right. That's where we are right now. All right, we'll go over some of the changes of the notes that Dave Brown sent my buddy Scott over at Check Your Leader TV. The mission, same as scenario. French dispersal result will also extend the game by 2 turns. Deployment was good. Commander's CNC quality per scenario. I think both CNCs are campaigners, I believe, and all brigadiers are standard. A couple of changes in Menet's brigade. The skirmish line was increased to 5. In Gauthier's brigade, the skirmish line should consist of 4 instead of 3. And Gauthier's brigade must start the game in off-table reserve. As a result, this should create a French division with 3 brigades, generating 4 ADCs total for the French. The British order of battle and Omnibus brigade. The brigade skirmish line is 4 instead of 3. And Hawkins brigade, 1st and 2nd KGL line battalions are now rated as grenadiers. I think not veterans. I changed that to different units anyway because don't have KGL. Spry's Portuguese brigade, the brigade skirmish line should be 4, not 3. And Ance's brigade, the skirmish line should consist of 4, not 3, of course. Ance's brigade must start the game in off-table reserve. As a result, this should create a British division with 5 brigades, creating 5 ADCs. Built up area in between the fields, that's over there. And the road is classed as a single village sector. So that whole area, I've kind of got it boxed in nicely. The other special rules, everything looks about the same. Okay. I think that's about it. French reserves apply rule, but Gauthier's brigade is classed as an off-table reserve. In other words, the normal GDA2 reserve brigade. Gauthier's brigade can also be brought on table if the British player commits Ance's brigade on table. Where's about Ance's? Ance's brigade is available from the start of turn 5 and is now classed as an off-table reserve. Therefore, it must be brought on table using a reserve ADC tasking. All right, cool. I think both commanders also have one caisson. They both also have one CNC command, if I remember correctly. I think that's correct. Excellent. If I'm wrong, Scott will let me know because he's my boy. And all right, and I think that's about it. Those are all the notes. I'll keep reviewing those, but that's what I saw. We'll go over terrain, then we'll go over the order of battle, and then we'll go crazy. Terrain's pretty simple. I think this is looking north here. Got a hill over on that side with some more trees. On the north side of the battlefield, we got the road going down the center. We've got some fields. I don't think they'll affect terrain. I do have some fences that weren't on the scenario that I put around the built-up area at Osma. That could be garrisoned by one battalion of infantry. Then we'll use the normal garrison rules. And then a couple trees over here, another hill. And that's about it. Everything else is kind of in the open. Sorry, my phone's sitting there. Okay, that's about it for terrain. There's no rivers, no crazy anything going on. And pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All right, the CNC of this British division is General Graham. He is a campaigner. Got his one caisson right off to his side there. And he kind of looks suspiciously like the Duke of Uxbridge, but that's okay. First Brigade, I believe it's General Omptida. He's right there. All these brigade commanders are standard. I forget to mention it. He just has 2 battalions of the King's German Legion, the 1st and 2nd battalions. He also has 4 skirmish bases of British rifles, so yummy. 2nd Brigade is General Halkett, who we see in our other battles, which is kind of cool. He survives, man. He's going to get to 1815. He's standard brigadier commander. He has the 40th, the 87th, and the 44th. The 40th and the 87th are both considered grenadier battalions per the new rules. They're supposed to be King's German Legion, but sorry about that. That's what we got. 3rd Brigade in the center, General Hay. He's got the 84th, the 9th, the 4th, and he's got a battery of 6-pounders. The 84th is a veteran line battalion. The rest are just regular line battalions. On the south side of the British line are the Portuguese forces under General Spry. 4th Brigade. He's got the 3rd Portuguese line, the 15th Portuguese line, which both just got back from a Hungarian trip, and the 8th Cacadores. And they're just right back there as Austrian reservists. I believe it's the Cacadores are veteran. The other 2 battalions are both line. And they also have 4 skirmish bases with them. All right, and then they have a reserve battalion under General Anson. It'll be 5th Brigade. Little nasty over here in the unfinished side of the world. He's got the 3rd, the 35th, and the 59th under his command. They are all just standard line battalions. And I need to, on those reserve battalions over there, I need to put their skirmishers with them. Sorry, they're not there. All right. They'll be having, I think, 4 for each one of those brigades. General Ryle in the center there. He's got his one CNC command and his one caisson sitting in the middle of Osma. Directly in front of him, General Frivion. He has 1st Battalion, 2nd Léger, 2nd Battalion, 2nd Léger. The 1st Battalion is veteran, 2nd Battalion is grenadier, and then 1st and 2nd Battalion behind them of the 36th Regiment of Line, and they're both just line battalions. He has his I think is he have 5? Yeah, he had 5 skirmish bases in front of his troops. And almost identical to his left is 2nd Brigade, General Menet, standard brigadier commander. He has the 1st and 2nd, 4th Léger, both of which are grenadier light infantry battalions, and then the 1st and 2nd, 65th, which are both line infantry battalions. And then up on the hill, he's got a battery of 8-pounders that'll hopefully do some damage to the Allies. In reserve for the French is their 3rd Brigade. It's got 1st and 2nd Battalion of the 118th under General Gauthier. They're both reservists, and he also has 1st Battalion of the 119th Regiment of Line, which is also reservists, and they'll have 4 skirmish bases with them. So once again, this is a game of General d'Armée 2, divisional games. There won't be any Corps Order dice or anything like that. I'm looking forward to this. There will be... The French have 6,600 troops and 18 guns on the battlefield here at Osma. And the Anglo-Portuguese have 9,000 troops and 18 guns themselves. So a little bit of an advantage for the Anglo-Portuguese, but that's all right. We get to break out the red dice. The French are going to be trying to hold out like there's no tomorrow. And we'll see if they can do it. All right. Hang in there. The game will, for me, will be starting here momentarily, but you might have to wait a little bit for me to finish it up and get it out to you guys. But if I don't get this done before the end of the weekend, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And yeah, you guys are great. Have fun. Keep on hobbying, and you're awesome. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.